Hello everyone. I have been looking for a quiet moment and here it is. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about the first two chapters of this book, Beauty in Barren Places. I wrote this book and published it 3 years ago this November. Beauty in Barren Places, seeing God's goodness here and now. Some people see the word barren and they think it must be about infertility, since my first book was about infertility, and it does mention infertility in this book because that was a part of my story for a long time. God eventually shifted our circumstances and opened my womb, and we have 2 living biological children. Actually, at the time that I published this book, I was pregnant with a son, and we were shocked and surprised when he was stillborn a couple of weeks after the book was published. So what I would like to jump on here today and say is that I had said I wanted to do a book club in October, and one of my dear friends said, "How are you going to find time for that?" And she's right. It's now the middle of October and I'm still trying to find time for that. So I encourage you to get a copy. Amazon is currently the best place to get a copy of my books. And Kindle books are inexpensive, great place to read books, but buying a paper copy is fantastic as well. And I just want to mention 3 points from the foreword by Natasha Metzler and the first 2 chapters. So in the foreword, Natasha shares a few little bits of her own life story, and she asks us to contemplate, can we still be content and just embrace the place that God has put us in life, whether that's a physical location or a circumstantial situation? Can we embrace and thrive and just be content wherever God has put us? In chapter 1, I share a story of a time I had traveled to Africa in my young 20s and early 20s, and I want you to read the story. I'm not going to tell you the story. I want you to read the story. But it did not go like I thought it would. And in that complicated, difficult week, God reminded me that that had been a dream of mine for years, to visit the country of Kenya. And He made that dream happen in a very roundabout way. And in chapter 2, talk about the seashore. And ironically, I live in a place surrounded by seashores right now, here in Hawaii. Also in chapter 2, I quote Charles Spurgeon, who says, "I have learned to kiss the wave that throws me against the rock of ages." And it was important for me to write this book before one of the most life-altering, difficult situations in our life, when we lost our son. And it's still something that speaks to me when we are experiencing a lack of finances, infertility, unable to find someone, a spouse, when you're single and looking for a spouse, when you're struggling, stuck in a job and you want a new job. Those are all opportunities of to feel barren, to feel like things are not fruitful as they should be. And Charles Spurgeon said, "I have learned to kiss the wave that throws me against the rock of ages." And that is so meaningful to me. To we don't have to be loving the situation, but be thankful for the hardship that throws us and pushes us up against Jesus, the rock of ages. And I talk a little bit more about those concepts in chapter 2. So that is a quick note on the foreword, chapter 1, chapter 2. And I really hope you take some time to read this book. Grab a friend and read it together. My online book club here in October and probably flowing into November is going to be short little videos where I talk about a couple of chapters and ask you to leave me a comment, to make a note, or send me a private message if that's easier, and let me know how it's speaking to you, how you can relate. And I am hopeful to do more sharing, more writing in the future. We've had a lot of major life changes in the past 5 years since becoming parents. We have moved multiple times and had multiple pregnancies, and have a kindergartner and a crawling baby right now. So life is super full. It's not barren in the infertility sense, but there are definitely other areas of life that feel like a struggle. I definitely have opportunities to thank God for the rock of ages that I am being pushed up against. And I hope that in the future, if and when my life settles down a little bit or I get a little more sleep, I can do some more writing and share more with you. And that's what I wanted to tell you today. So I am on Instagram, Love That Betsy, also Hope During Infertility on Instagram. I am on Facebook, Betsy Herman Author, regular old Betsy Herman, and Embracing Hope During Infertility. And actually, it's the full book title. It's When Infertility Books Are Not Enough, Embracing Hope During Infertility. And those are the main places that I hang out online, and you can find me there. I also have a website, www.hopeduringinfertility.com. Feel free to contact me through any of those means. And thank you for listening. Please read and let me know what you think.